Hi everyone, I'm Heather. I'm the Safety and Compliance Manager here with Steve's Livestock. I've been with the company for almost 19 years, kind of hard to admit, but I have been in the safety department the entire time that I've been with the company, and I oversee a team that works towards making sure that we keep our drivers safe. So for those of you that don't know, the role of safety and compliance in a trucking company is pretty wide. We take care of things like driver's logs, we make sure that we're running compliantly, but mostly we're here to support our drivers and the logistics team. Whenever drivers are struggling with questions or they run into an issue on the road, safety is here to make sure that we're supporting them, making sure they're compliant, and that they have that voice that can speak for them when they need it. So what drew me to safety and to this company in general was actually out of necessity. I used to work in the city. I would travel back and forth an hour each way from our Steinbach area, and I started getting really tired. So something our drivers experience on a daily basis, it was fatigue. I found myself getting sleepy at the end of my day driving home. I had my windows cracked. I tried to do radio. None of that was helping. So out of necessity, I had to start looking for a job closer to home. And when I found Steve's, believe it or not, all I did when I started here was taking care of fuel invoices. But that grew over time, and I started to learn all the different roles that my department does, spent a little bit of time in logistics, but really was drawn to safety and protecting our drivers. So my joy in safety and what drew me here is actually just that. It's making sure that our drivers are safe every day, making sure they go home to their families, and protecting the company. So that's kind of what drew me here and why I am here. So what do I love the most about my job? Well, or most about working with drivers is the fact that they are some of the most professional drivers on the road. They take pride in what they do. And when you build those relationships with drivers, you're not only building trust, you're building honest conversations, and you work together to find solutions. So I love when drivers just stop by or give me a call, whether they are there to say hello or they have an issue that needs my help. I'm always there to help drivers, and they know my door is open for them to come and see me anytime they want. What are some of the things that maybe the public doesn't understand about trucking and safety that we do every day in and out, whether it's in the office or the drivers on the road? Inside the office, we spend a lot of time helping drivers, making sure that they have their routing, they know their weights, that they're prepared. But the drivers are the ones that really do hold the key to the safety part on the road. They're doing pre-trips before they leave, making sure their equipment's in proper working order. They're also making sure that they have their paperwork and that they're ready to greet that customer when they get to the door. They spend a lot of time making sure that they are driving defensively and protecting drivers on the road. They're watching for the little details that a lot of us don't notice. Simple things like how fast the vehicles are driving in front of them. Are they maintaining their lane? Those are key indicators for them when they're out there watching for safe drivers. I bet you a long haul driver can see a distracted driver before the rest of us would even notice, because that's part of what they do every day to keep you and I safe when we're on the road. So how do experienced drivers or commercial drivers make our roads safer? They make our roads safer because they're constantly scanning that road. They are the true definition of defensive driving. Professional drivers are constantly looking ahead of them, they're looking behind them, they're reading that road, they're making sure that they see the traffic that's around them. They're noticing the little things that a lot of us miss, whether it could be, a pedestrian, a light that's going to change in a few seconds, and they're anticipating those changes, and they're always watching. So that's what they're doing out there to help make sure they keep themselves safe and you, because the most important thing for them as well is that they go home every day. So if you're a driver and you hear the word inspection, it might make you nervous, but you shouldn't be nervous as long as you're following the day-to-day practices of a professional driver. Making sure that you have done that thorough pre-trip, that you have all of your documents in order, that your paperwork for your load is there, your driver's license, that you've checked those little details. You've made sure that the safety is current on your equipment, that the registration is there, you know where your visor card is to do your ELD transfers, But a good company is there to support you in that. So making sure if you have any questions that you reach out to your safety and compliance team, and just being courteous and professional with those inspectors. That's going to make the world of difference when it comes to an inspection. And what does a clear inspection say about a driver? It is actually something to be really proud of. Not a lot of guys get pulled in, or drivers get pulled in, that have clear inspections. If you walk out of an inspection and it's clear, you know you've done your job well, that you're working for a good company that also supports you in the equipment that you operate, and it's something to be proud of. It's kind of like a little stamp on you to say, hey, I did a great job, and we like to make sure that we recognize drivers that do that. There's a belief out there that the technology that's been put into trucks is actually meant to just monitor drivers. But at the end of the day, that's not what it's there for. ELDs, cameras, different things like that that are in the trucks, they're actually there to help support a driver. An ELD helps make sure that a driver's hours are compliant, helps make sure that the driver doesn't miss things like form and manner mistakes on logs, and make sure that you actually don't have to do as much paperwork. And the great bonus of them is also too that it helps reduce the amount of fatigued drivers on the road. When it comes to cameras, a lot of drivers believe that it's Big Brother watching. At the end of the day, as a safety professional and my team, we don't have time to watch you while you're driving. That's the last thing that we actually have time for. But what the cameras do help with is actually telling the story when something happens. We have cameras in our fleet, and they've actually helped a number of times already, whether it be through motorist concerns or complaints that come in, or collisions. We've been able to use them to prove that our driver's not at fault, or to help corroborate a driver's why or a reason for something that did happen. So it's been really good having that technology on the fleet as a tool to support. And not only is it there to support, but it is there to help us all improve. We all have to make sure that we're working every day to become better at what we do. So whether that's making sure that we're watching as we approach a stop sign, or we slow down a little sooner for that change in speed zone, the technology is there as a reminder as well, and it helps us be better at what we do and more professional every day. What does a great relationship between safety and a driver look like? And actually, it's a really easy one to answer. It's one of trust. When it boils down to it, when a driver trusts the company they work for, when a driver trusts their safety team, and their safety person that is out there caring for them and making sure that they go home, then the relationship is great. When a driver feels like they can be honest and open, even if something goes wrong, that is a true relationship between safety and a driver. When safety and drivers work together, issues get resolved really quickly, and that is a sign of a great relationship. Mistakes happen, and you know what? We're all human. So how does my team support drivers? By working together. Whether it be a set of skidded tires or a failed DOT inspection, sitting down and having that open, honest conversation with a driver, coming to an agreement with them on how we're going to handle something, that's important. Safety isn't about enforcing rules and being hard on people. It's about being collaborative and working together to solve issues, to keep people safe. So that is extremely important. The goal is about learning and improvement. It's not about punishment. You might be wondering what makes a driver stand out from a safety side of things. And there's a lot in that list, and it's kind of all those little boxes that a driver checks every day. It's the drivers that are doing proper pre-trips, proper post-trips, that are thinking about their fellow driver, that may have to take that trailer on the next load. It's the driver that's a professional, that wants to be involved, that brings up concerns, that talks honestly and openly, that shares in the values of the company, that acts with integrity, and that makes sure that The dialogue back and forth when we're talking about safety is honest. Those drivers that are out there that are true professionals, they stand out, kind of like a shining star every time their name comes up. Or drivers that learn from feedback, share from their experiences, that never cut corners, those are the drivers that truly stand out. One of the myths that I hear quite often when I introduce myself to people, sometimes drivers, especially if they don't work for us, is that safety people are mean. And I actually take it to heart, because actually we're not. I don't have a frying pan in my desk waiting to whack you on the head with. I'm actually really supportive of our drivers, and it's really a great myth to try and bust here, because I don't think I could be mean. You could ask our drivers if you want to, but I don't think they'll say I'm mean. So for the drivers and the public, or anyone that's watching, I can only encourage you all to do better. We all can do better. Whether that is, not being distracted, whether it's paying attention a little bit more, it's watching for those details that drivers do when they're on the road. We can all learn from that. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you and me, our families, everybody gets to go home safe. So my motto here at Steve's is drive safe, home safe. I hope that becomes your motto too, and it's been a pleasure.